Before we begin this morning prayer, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like this video. This moment is yours. Before the rush begins, before voices call for your attention, before the day fills itself with responsibilities, we are here together in this. The world may already be stirring, but here, right now, you have been given a gift, the gift of a new sunrise, the gift of another chance, the gift of life still moving in you. Don't rush past it. Don't call it ordinary. Breathe it in. This is holy ground because you are alive, and that alone is enough to whisper gratitude. God, we thank you. Thank you for waking us again. Thank you for carrying us through the night. Thank you for the gentle light breaking into the sky, reminding us that mercies are fresh every morning. Thank you that even when yesterday was heavy, today is proof that we are not stuck there. We have been given the chance to begin again, and that is a miracle in itself. So we welcome this day, not with clenched fists, not with hurried fear, but with open hands. We welcome it with hearts willing to see beauty. We welcome it with voices willing to say thank you. Thank you for this breath, for this heartbeat, for the quiet miracle of just being here. Thank you that we do not have to have everything figured out to receive this moment with peace. There is so much waiting ahead. Messages to answer, tasks to finish, problems to solve, people to meet. And yet, before all of that, here we are, in stillness. This stillness is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is the space where gratitude grows, where hope takes root, where peace is born. Let us linger here just a little longer. Let us not run from this calm. Let us drink it in so deeply that it steadies us through every hour to come. God, I confess it is easy to forget, easy to let hurry carry me away, easy to let worry be the loudest voice, easy to treat life as an endless race instead of a sacred journey. But this morning, I choose to remember. I choose to slow down enough to notice. I choose gratitude over pressure. I choose wonder over numbness. I choose to meet this day not with dread, but with thanks. And for that, I thank you. I thank you for the sunlight reaching through my window, for the air that cools my skin, for the quiet sounds of morning birds calling, the house shifting, the world whispering awake. These things are not small. They are invitations. They are reminders that life itself is gift. And so I pause. I breathe. I whisper thank you. Gratitude does not demand perfection. It does not wait until everything is easy. It meets me here, even in uncertainty, even in unfinished stories, even in places where I still ache. Gratitude is a choice, one I make again now, and I choose it because it shifts everything. It shifts how I see the day, how I carry burdens, how I meet others. Gratitude takes what is ordinary and shows me the sacred woven inside it. Gratitude takes what is heavy and makes it lighter, not by removing it, but by reminding me I do not carry it alone. So, God, thank you that I do not walk into this day alone. You are with me. You are ahead of me. You are beside me. You are holding me steady even when I don't feel steady. Thank you that your love is not earned by how much I achieve today, but freely given right here before I've even done anything. Thank you that your grace is already waiting for me in each hour ahead, whispering that I am not behind, that I am not forgotten, that I am enough because you are enough. This morning I also thank you for the small gifts I so often overlook, for the roof that covered me through the night, for the bed that held me as I slept, for the food waiting to nourish me, for the people who care for me near or far, for the strength still left in me, even if it feels small, for laughter that has not left my story, for hope that keeps returning, even when I thought it was gone. These things are not owed. They are gifts, and I receive them with gratitude. Gratitude does not erase struggle, but it changes how I see it. It tells me that even in the hardest seasons, beauty is not absent. It reminds me that every storm I've survived has carried hidden lessons, and every valley has eventually given way to light. Gratitude says, even now, God is even here. I am held. Even in the unknown, there is still reason to hope, and so I let gratitude steady me again. God, I want to live this day differently, not rushing blindly, not bracing myself for the worst, not stuck in regret over what's past. I want to live awake, alive, attentive. I want to see the kindness in a stranger's eyes, the way sunlight falls on a wall, the quiet miracle of laughter, the comfort of silence. I want to see my life as it is, not perfect, not easy, but filled with moments that can still be holy if I will notice them. Gratitude gives me that sight. Gratitude keeps me awake. And so I ask, help me carry this spirit with me. When interruptions come, let gratitude remind me they can carry hidden blessings. When conflict comes, let gratitude remind me love is still possible. When plans change, let gratitude remind me life is not ruined. When I feel weary, let gratitude remind me I've been given strength before, and it will come again. Gratitude does not ignore reality. It redeems it. It reshapes my posture until I can meet the day not with bitterness, but with openness. I thank you for the people I will encounter today, for the ones who make me smile, for the ones who test my patience, for the ones I know well, and for the ones I may only see once. Each carries your image. Each deserves kindness. Gratitude reminds me that people are not interruptions. They are part of the gift of this day. So let me meet them with patience, with gentleness, with love. Let my words carry encouragement. Let my presence bring calm. Let my actions reflect grace. God, I thank you also for the lessons hidden in waiting, for the unanswered prayers that teach me trust, for the slow seasons that stretch my patience, for the silence that reminds me growth happens beneath the surface. Gratitude does not turn waiting into frustration. It turns it into formation. It teaches me to see delay, not as punishment, but as preparation. And so I will not despise waiting. I will be grateful, even here, because I know you are shaping me. As I continue into this day, I want my heart to stay soft. Gratitude keeps it soft. Without it, bitterness can harden me. Fear can close me. Pride can blind me. But gratitude breaks through all of that. It softens me so I can forgive. It opens me so I can love. It humbles me so I can receive. Gratitude keeps me human, keeps me tender, keeps me free. So here I am, God, beginning again with thanks. Thanks for this moment. Thanks for this breath. Thanks for this chance to live. Whatever the day holds, gratitude will carry me. It will remind me that I do not need to strive for perfection, only to show up with an open heart. It will remind me that beauty is already here, if I will only notice it. It will remind me that I am loved, that I am enough, that this day is holy. I want to keep this softness as the day begins to gather speed, to hold on to the unhurried calm that greeted me in the first light. God, help me walk gently through what comes next. Let gratitude be the steady undertone beneath every choice, the quiet rhythm I return to when my thoughts scatter, the anchor I hold when worries pull. I don't want to sprint into the morning as if peace will be waiting somewhere down the road. I want to carry peace with me in each step, so I begin by noticing again the way the room holds a lingering coolness, the way steam curls from a cup, the way a window brightens almost imperceptibly, the way my breath lengthens when I pay attention. I name these small things as gifts, because calling them gifts changes me. It reminds me that I am not owed a single moment, that everything I receive today is a grace, that life becomes clearer when I stop to say thank you. And as I thank you, I feel the weight I woke with begin to lift, not because the circumstances suddenly shift, but because gratitude gives me truer perspective. It tells me I am held. It tells me there is enough for now. It tells me I can take one faithful step at a time, and that will be enough for today. I bring you, God, my plans and my limits together. I offer both because both are real. There are things I hope to finish, conversations I hope to have, problems I hope to solve, and there are places I already sense my energy is thin. Teach me to honor limits as holy. Teach me to keep boundaries without hardening my heart. Teach me that saying no when wisdom requires it is not failure, but faithfulness. Let gratitude guard my yes, so that every yes I give today grows from love and not from fear of disappointing someone. And when I inevitably feel behind, remind me that being present is more important than being impressive, that a calm response is more valuable than a flawless performance, that the smallest act done with care often carries more goodness than a dozen tasks done in a rush. If my mind tries to measure the worth of this day only by numbers and outcomes, interrupt me with awe, a shaft of light across the floor, a line in a song that feels like it was written for me, an unexpected moment of laughter that loosens my chest. Let these be your gentle corrections, turning me back toward what truly matters: faithfulness, kindness, attention. I ask for the courage to live gratefully with others. Make me quick to listen and slow to assume. Help me look for the story behind the tone, the burden behind the silence, the tender hope behind the question. Where I am tempted to critique, teach me to bless. Where I am tempted to withdraw, teach me to lean in with warmth. Let me become an echo of your gentleness in conversations, a steady voice when anxiety spikes, a patient pause when tempers rise, a soft answer that breaks a cycle of sharpness. And let gratitude be visible, not only in private prayer, but in public kindness, an encouraging message sent without fanfare, an apology offered without defensiveness, a simple thank you spoken with sincerity, a willingness to do the small, unrecognized task, because love often looks like ordinary care. Keep me from performing goodness for approval. Root me in goodness that grows from gratitude. Remind me that I don't need to be noticed to be meaningful. You see, you always, when comparison tugs at me, I will meet it with thanks. I will bless the good I see in others. May they flourish. May their joy expand. May their gifts serve many. And I will remember that their shine does not dim mine. Gratitude frees me from scarcity and returns me to truth. There is room here for all the light you are giving. When perfectionism whispers that I must do more to be enough, I will answer with gratitude's simplest confession: I am here, I am loved, I am learning. When fear imagines future disasters, I will practice the smallest act of trust by naming 3 good things in the present and breathing them in. This breath, this light, this chance to try again. If I lose my way, I will not shame myself. I will return to thanks and begin again. Beginning again is not evidence of weakness. It is evidence of grace alive in me. I am grateful for work to do today, whatever form it takes, for the mental work of solving and planning, for the physical work of cleaning, cooking, organizing, moving, for the relational work of listening, reconciling, supporting. Let me treat each task with reverence, not because it is glamorous, but because integrity can turn even the simplest work into worship. Guard my attention so I can do one thing at a time with care, and when interruptions arrive, as they always do, help me remember they might be invitations. Perhaps someone needs a soft word more than I need a completed list. Perhaps the detour will become the path where joy finds me. I don't want to live so rigidly that I miss goodness because it wasn't penciled into the margins of my planner. Hold my plans lightly in your hands, God, and teach me to do the same. I thank you for this body that carries me, for the honest signals it sends, the pinch of fatigue that asks for rest, the knot of tension that asks for breath, the flutter of excitement that asks to be noticed and enjoyed. I will treat these signals as teachers, not as inconveniences. I will eat to nourish, move to awaken, pause to reset, rest to trust. I will not demand that my body perform like a machine. I will honor it as a living, sacred vessel. Even in its limits, it is a miracle. Even when it aches, it is worthy of gentleness. Gratitude helps me speak kindly to myself here. It helps me trade self-criticism for care, pressure for patience, shame for stewardship. And as I practice this, I will also extend the same gentleness to others, their pace, their limits, their process. Gratitude makes space in me for compassion. I thank you for memory, the storehouse of past mercies that steadies me. Remind me of nights I thought would never end, and the mornings that still arrived. Remind me of closed doors that felt cruel and later proved kind. Remind me of long waits that deepened me in ways quick answers never could. These remembrances are anchors. They secure me to your faithfulness when the present feels uncertain, and I thank you for the mystery ahead. The chapters not yet written, the provisions already being prepared, the people I have not met who will become unexpected gifts. I don't need to control what I cannot see. I need to be faithful with what I can see and trust that you are weaving the rest. Gratitude is how I practice that trust in real time. Because I know my heart will drift, I set simple rituals to call me back. A breath prayer when tension rises. On the inhale, you are with me. On the exhale, I am not alone. A micro Sabbath between tasks. 10 seconds to notice one good thing and name it out loud. A small benediction before I open a message. Let my words carry peace. A gentle check-in when afternoon weariness arrives. Water, fresh air, a moment of quiet. These are not grand strategies. They are ordinary lifelines. They stitch gratitude through the day, like hidden thread, holding me together where I might otherwise come undone. And at day's end, I will count 3 mercies I would have missed if I hadn't looked for them. In this way, I will train my soul toward thankfulness, one honest practice at a time. God, where there is brokenness in me, regret, resentment, the heavy ache of something that didn't become what I hoped, let gratitude keep that place from hardening. I do not have to call sorrow sweet, but I can call your nearness real. I can bless the growth that quietly takes root in the soil of disappointment. I can bless the wisdom that arrives in the wake of loss. I can bless the tenderness that comes when the heart has been broken and yet chooses to remain open. Do this work in me today, softening without erasing, healing without rushing, strengthening without making me brittle. Let the slow miracle of forgiveness continue, of others, of myself, and let each inch of progress be celebrated as holy ground. Even invisible progress is still progress, and I thank you for it. I will carry creative courage into this day, the willingness to make something small and good instead of waiting for something perfect and grand. A sentence that says what is true, a meal that nourishes, a note that encourages. A corner I bring into order, a prayer I whisper for someone I'll never meet. I will celebrate the humble scale of these offerings, because love is measured less by spectacle and more by presence, and I will release outcomes I cannot control. Gratitude frees me from the tyrannies of applause and metrics. It returns me to the joy of simply being faithful. Let that joy be enough for me today. So, God, lead me gently. Keep my steps aligned with peace. Let gratitude be my first reflex, not my last resort. When I am tempted to rush, slow me. When I am tempted to despair, widen my view. When I am tempted to carry what isn't mine, remind me to set it down. Make me a person who notices, who blesses, who returns again and again to thanks, until thankfulness becomes the language I think in and the way I love. And when night comes, whether the day felt triumphant or tangled, let me look back and find a constellation of small lights, moments I paused, named a gift, and felt you near. That will be enough. That will always be enough. As the morning grows stronger, I feel how quickly life can begin to press against me. The reminders, the tasks, the quiet weight of responsibility that always waits at the edge of silence. But here, in this space, I am reminded that I get to choose how I will meet the day. Will I meet it with dread, with complaint, with hurried striving? Or will I meet it with gratitude, with softness, with the openness that trusts even the unknown hours are filled with hidden grace? God, today I choose gratitude, not because it is easy, not because all my questions have been answered, not because I feel strong in every part of me, but because gratitude itself is strength. Gratitude shifts me into alignment with your presence. Gratitude steadies my heart when it is tempted to scatter. Gratitude transforms ordinary hours into sacred ground. So again I pause, here and now, to breathe thanks into the quiet. Thank you for this very breath. Thank you for the sound of life moving around me, a distant bird, a faint hum, the soft rustle that says the world is alive. Thank you for the gift of memory that tells me I have survived nights I thought would break me. Thank you for the miracle of being able to stand here in this moment, awake, alive, aware. It is not small. It is everything. God, you know how easy it is for me to slip back into anxiety. My mind wants to rehearse every what if. My heart wants to grip too tightly what is not mine to control. And yet you call me here, back to this anchor, back to gratitude. Gratitude does not deny that fear exists. It simply refuses to give fear the final word. Gratitude says, look at what is already good. Gratitude says, remember what you've already been carried through. Gratitude says, notice how even now you are held. So I let gratitude steady my breath. I let it slow my heartbeat. I let it remind me that I am not alone, not forgotten, not left to figure it all out by myself. Thank you, God, for community. For the people I know well, for those I love deeply, for those I will only meet briefly. Each carries something holy within them. Each reflects your image in ways I might overlook if I'm not paying attention. Gratitude helps me see them differently. It reminds me that the smile of a stranger is not random, that the patience of a coworker is not trivial, that the voice of a friend who checks in is not small. These are threads of grace weaving through my day. These are reminders that life is not meant to be lived alone. Help me notice, help me honor, help me return kindness with kindness, grace with grace. I thank you for solitude as well, for the moments when I am alone but not abandoned, for the quiet where my own heart grows audible, for the space where I can simply breathe without performance, without proving gratitude. Lets me call solitude not emptiness, but fullness. It lets me find you in the silence, in the stillness, in the spaces between words. Thank you that I do not need to fill every silence with noise, that I can rest in being, not only in doing. God, I bring you the places where I still ache, the unanswered prayer, the unfinished story, the disappointment that still stings. Gratitude does not ask me to ignore these. It asks me to see them differently. Gratitude whispers, even here, something is forming. Gratitude reminds me, even when I cannot see progress, growth is often hidden underground. Gratitude tells me waiting is not wasted when it is held in your hands. So even here, I say thank you, not because it is easy, but because I believe you are near, and your nearness is enough. I want to let gratitude shape the way I speak today. May my words carry encouragement. not complaint. May they carry gentleness, not sharpness. May they carry truth, but truth spoken with love. May they carry blessing, even when I am tempted toward criticism. And if I fail, because I will, let gratitude remind me I can begin again, mid-sentence, mid-conversation, mid-day. Gratitude always allows return. It always makes space for a second chance. Thank you for the gift of learning, for the way life keeps teaching me through every success and every mistake, for the way conversations stretch my understanding, for the way difficulties deepen my patience, for the way beauty opens my eyes to mystery. Gratitude reminds me that nothing is wasted. Even pain can become teacher. Even loss can birth compassion. Even failure can grow humility. Gratitude keeps me from discarding seasons too quickly. It reminds me there is wisdom tucked into everyone. And so I pause again to thank you for the ordinary mercies that will hold me today. Water that refreshes, food that sustains, clothing that warms, light that guides. Thank you for the resilience of my body, for the creativity of my mind, for the tenderness of my heart. Thank you for the capacity to laugh, to rest, to forgive, to hope. These are miracles disguised as ordinary functions. Gratitude keeps me from calling them small. I confess how often I focus on what I lack instead of what I have. I confess how quickly I measure my worth by what I accomplish instead of who I am. I confess how easily I let comparison steal my joy. But today, I choose differently. Today, I anchor myself in thanks. Today, I tell my soul, you have enough. You are enough. You are loved. Gratitude turns comparison into blessing. Gratitude turns scarcity into sufficiency. Gratitude turns striving into rest. And so I ask, God, that gratitude not just remain words in this prayer, but become the rhythm of my day. Let it shape my attention so I notice what is good. Let it shape my posture so I walk gently. Let it shape my tone so I speak kindly. Let it shape my work so I do it with care. Let it shape my rest so I embrace it without guilt. Gratitude is not a single act. It is a way of living. Teach me that way again today. I thank you for joy, not the fleeting happiness that depends on circumstances, but the deeper joy that roots itself in your presence. Gratitude opens the door for that joy. It lets joy slip in quietly, even in the middle of uncertainty, even in the middle of unanswered questions. Joy that says, even now, I am blessed. Even here, I can smile. Even in waiting, I can laugh. Thank you for that joy. Thank you for letting it coexist with sorrow, letting it balance the heaviness with lightness, letting it remind me that life is always more layered than it seems. And I thank you for peace, peace that doesn't erase storms, but steadies me within them. Peace that doesn't always silence fear, but keeps it from ruling me. Peace that whispers, you are held. Peace that comes not from finished lists or flawless days, but from trust. Gratitude teaches me to notice peace, even in fragments, in a deep breath, in a pause, in a moment of clarity. These fragments are enough to keep me moving. So here I am again, God pausing once more, not because I have to, but because I get to, because this moment is holy, because you are here, because gratitude is available. I don't know what the next hours will hold, but I know I will meet them with thanks. Thanks for what is, thanks for what has been, thanks for what will come. Gratitude steadies me, roots me, frees me. Gratitude keeps me human, keeps me tender, keeps me awake. And for that, I am grateful. God, as the light of morning grows brighter, I feel the gentle reminder that each new hour is a canvas. It is not a copy of yesterday. It is something new, unpainted, waiting for color. and I realize that the colors I choose matter. I can paint this day with complaint, with stress, with hurry, or I can paint it with gratitude, with peace, with love. Gratitude is not only a feeling, it is a brush in my hand, a decision about how I will see and how I will respond. So I choose to paint this day with, even if storms come, I can still choose the colors of grace. Even if interruptions arrive, I can still choose the hues of patience. Even if disappointment lingers, I can still choose the tones of hope. Gratitude gives me the palette I need to live well. Thank you, God, for the power of beginning again. Yesterday may have carried mistakes, words I regret, moments I wish I could take back. But today you remind me I am not defined by those things. Today I begin again with a clean page. Gratitude turns regret into learning. Gratitude transforms shame into growth. Yet gratitude says, yes, you stumbled, but you rose. Yes, you failed, but you learned. Yes, you struggled, but you survived. So I stand here with a heart open to renewal, thanking you that I do not need to be chained to my past. I can move forward lighter because your grace walks with me. I thank you for the quiet wisdom woven into ordinary rhythms, the way night always gives way to morning, the way seasons shift faithfully, the way wounds slowly knit themselves closed, the way sorrow eventually makes space for joy. Gratitude helps me see that healing is not always instant, but it is always possible. Change may be slow, but it is still real. Transformation may take time, but it is still happening. Thank you for reminding me that nothing in life is wasted, not even the long waits, not even the unsteady steps, not even the tears I thought were useless. Gratitude reframes it all as part of a larger story, one you are still writing with tenderness and care. God, I ask that you keep my heart soft today. Gratitude is how I protect that softness. Without thanks, I grow bitter, harsh, demanding. With thanks, I stay open, gentle, receptive. With thanks, I see others, not as obstacles, but as companions. With thanks, I see myself, not as a failure, but as a work in progress. Gratitude keeps me human, keeps me tender, keeps me aligned with love. So when criticism rises in me, let gratitude speak first. When frustration stirs, let gratitude quiet me. When pride tries to take over, let gratitude humble me. In this way, gratitude becomes not just words but posture, a way of being that radiates through everything I do. I thank you for laughter, God, for the way it loosens what feels tight, for the way it bridges distance between hearts, for the way it surprises me at the edges of sorrow. I thank you for tears as well, for their honesty, for their cleansing, for the way they water the dry soil of my soul. Gratitude lets me honor both laughter and tears, because both remind me I am alive, both connect me to others, both are holy expressions of what it means to be human. Let me not resist them. Let me embrace them as part of the gift of being fully alive. And I thank you for work, for the chance to contribute, to create, to serve, to learn. Whether it feels glamorous or hidden, whether it is celebrated or unnoticed, work itself can be an offering. Gratitude transforms chores into worship, obligations into opportunities, routines into sacred rituals. Thank you for giving me strength to move through today's responsibilities. Thank you for reminding me that my value is not in how much I accomplish, but in who I am as your child. Gratitude frees me from measuring myself only by productivity. It returns me to presence, to faithfulness, to love. God, let gratitude also shape the way I rest. Too often, I treat rest as a reward for exhausting myself, but gratitude teaches me to rest as trust. To rest, not because everything is finished, but because I am not meant to do everything. To rest, not because I've earned it, but because you have gifted it. Rest is holy. Rest is needed. Rest is a reminder that I am held even when I stop. Gratitude lets me embrace it without guilt, without resistance, without apology. Thank you for the rest that waits for me later in this day. I thank you for the gift of nature, for the trees that stand tall and steady, for the sky that shifts through countless colors, for the waters that move with rhythm, for the earth that holds me with quiet strength. Gratitude opens my eyes to these sermons around me: patience from the trees, renewal from the seasons, persistence from the rivers, vastness from the sky. Help me not to rush past them blind. Help me to notice, to listen, to let creation teach me again how to trust, how to grow, how to remain rooted. And thank you, God, for mystery, for the unknowns I cannot solve, for the prayers still waiting, for the story still unfolding. Gratitude does not demand that I have every answer. It lets me live in the tension, knowing that you are present even there. Gratitude reminds me that my lack of control is not a threat, but an invitation to lean, to trust, to walk step by step without fear of what lies beyond the bend. Thank you that I do not need to know everything in order to walk faithfully. Thank you that your presence is enough, even in uncertainty. As the hours stretch ahead, I ask that you fill them with reminders, a word that lifts me, a moment of laughter that catches me by surprise, a fragment of silence that steadies me, a kindness from someone I didn't expect. These reminders keep me awake to your goodness. Gratitude primes me to see them, to name them, to receive them with joy. Let me not dismiss them as coincidence or insignificance. Let me call them what they are, gifts. And let me remember that I am also invited to be that reminder for someone else. My smile can be gift. My listening can be gift. My patience can be gift. Gratitude turns me into a vessel of blessing if I will let it. So here I am again, God, at the edge of this growing morning, choosing once more to walk in thanks. Thank you for what is already behind me. Thank you for what is right in front of me. Thank you for what is yet to come. Gratitude holds it all together. Gratitude keeps me from despair. Gratitude opens the door for peace. Gratitude shapes me into love. And for that, I am endlessly. Amen.